Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith, and joining us today, you've seen Mr. Han.
Camera's not plugged.
Well, you're not seeing anything right now because we got to plug the camera in here. But this is the radio startup here, the radio version of Litter Media Live on the Friday edition. And now entering the picture, our producer and on stage live, Aaron Glandon.
For the very first time.
Welcome.
My debut.
It's good to have you. Now you can see, you young girls out there, see why Dan's been holding back, because he's so handsome that he didn't want to run the risk of...
Dan's jealous because my beard is better than his.
Oh, golly. Well, Aaron, welcome. We welcomed you on a number of occasions being on staff, but it's good to have you actually on the air with us today.
I'm nervous.
Oh, no need to be. Just glow, bask in the glory of the lights, and it'll just become like a natural thing. Well, let's take a look at the weather today, and it looks good for today. Sunny skies with a high of 58. If you're going out to the playoff football games tonight, which I know many of you will be, partly cloudy. A low will get down to 38, but we think probably by kickoff, as you can see there on the weather, maybe low 50s, and then it'll be down in the 40s by nighttime, but the overnight is where it'll dip down below 40. Now, tomorrow and Sunday, look for partly sunny skies each day. Hey, spring is back. High in the 60s for the weekend. So that's the way our forecast looks for what's coming up today and over the next couple of days. When we come back, we'll take a look at our show topics. We have sports, this day in history, all ahead on the Friday edition of Litter Media Live with Mike and Aaron. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, one of our great sponsors on Litter Media, and they've been around they've been around longer than Aaron has been alive. Heating, cooling, plumbing, they take care of it all. As I've told you many times on this program, I have used each of these elements, so to speak, out of their work, and they do a great job. That's why I keep contracting with them every year. They come out, they do a couple of inspections each year as far as that maintenance contract is concerned, and I've never been sorry we've done it. You won't be sorry either. Give them a call, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade, Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
All right, let's jump into the headlines. Tiffany Baldwin of downtown Chillicothe was our special edition guest yesterday, where she talked about the December 6th Rudolph Run, where proceeds go toward purchasing Christmas lights for the downtown. I don't know what was said at this moment, but
You were cracking up.
She's getting tickled. I'm laughing about something, but yeah, it was a fun interview with Tiffany. If you didn't get a chance to see it live, you can go back and see it on not only our Litter Media Facebook, but also Litter Media YouTube. Daylight savings time ends this weekend. Be sure to set your clocks back 1 hour by 2 a.m. Sunday. And if you don't want to stay up that late, Aaron, I get it. You might be up that late.
No, I usually go to bed about midnight.
Okay. So if you do that, you know to set your clocks back before you go to bed.
Or I'll just do it in the morning.
Yeah, but you'll be late for church that way. Is that the plan?
I'll just set my alarm for the time it should be. Well, the phone does it automatically.
Oh, that's true. So that is your clock. It's the only clock you got in your house?
Well, that's what I use my alarm for.
I see.
I wear a watch.
I see. Okay. But for the old timers like me and the rest of the gang, set your clocks back before you go to bed Saturday night. But the official change is 2 a.m. Sunday, November the 5th. There's been a lot of talk about getting rid of daylight savings time. A number of states have asked Congress, because Congress has to act on it. I think it passed in the Senate this year, Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. But then it went to the House and it just died there.
I remember hearing a lot about when it started up again, people saying, this is the last time we're going to have to do this. But nope.
Still with us. Yeah, still with us. The public's invited to a fall lecture series event hosted by the Ross County Historical Society. Tom O'Grady, Director of Outreach at the Southeastern Ohio History Center and adjunct professor at Ohio University, will present The Barn Builders, an Architectural Legacy in Ohio's Rural Landscape. The event takes place Thursday, November 30th at 6:30 p.m. on the grounds of the Ross County Heritage Center at 45 West 5th Street in Chillicothe. Chillicothe Halloween Festival's Board of Directors are announcing the opening of the festival's community grant program for this year. Festival will be granting a total of $3,500 in funding to non-area nonprofit organizations. Now, to qualify for the grant, funding organization must be recognized as a 501c3 charitable organization by the IRS, and you must be located and serve Ross County residents, submit a completed application and any applicable supporting documentations by December the 4th. Now, organizations may request up to $1,500 in funding for support of their program. The focus of the grant is to enrich the lives of residents in Ross County. Bridle trails on most of Ohio State Forest and all-purpose vehicle areas at Pike, Richland Furnace, and Perry State Forest will close for the winter season, according to the Department of Forestry. Bridle trails will close on Monday, November the 27th, and the APV, or all-purpose vehicle areas, will close on Monday, December the 11th. The State Forest APV areas will remain open during regular deer gun season to provide opportunities for people with disabilities to have greater access to the state forest with APV trails. So that's why they stay open a little bit longer. And the Workforce and Business Development Program of the Community Action Committee of Pike County is again providing the free tax assistance program through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. No experience is required, and training is provided at no cost to you. All VITA volunteers are protected from liability for negligent acts they perform within the scope of their volunteer responsibilities. For more information or to sign up, contact Erica Jones at 289-2371. And that is your topics of the day, and we'll take a look at some sports, which is pretty much all local today, and that's coming up right after this. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, the big orange dumpsters, you've seen them out there. Again, I use a lot of our sponsors' products, Aaron.
Yeah, you're just a real man of the people.
He didn't know what to say on that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I think Grandma also, your grandma, my aunt used this service as well. If you need to get a quote, 839-253-8389. I had to move to get around the camera so I could see it. They'll give you a free quote. They serve Ross and surrounding counties. That's Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
At Rathkamp Financial, we provide wealth management services that may ease clients' fears of financial loss and help them retire comfortably. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
All right, taking a look at sports, our Litter Media Radio Game of the Week takes us to Jackson Alumni Stadium, and this is a biggie, folks, and we're not saying it just because that's where we're going to be. This is probably the biggest playoff game in all Southern Ohio tonight as far as the two biggest powerhouse high school football teams in this part of the state going head-to-head. Bloom Carroll have 2 losses this season, Jackson 1 loss. This is what's called the regional quarterfinals. The winner of this will go to the regional semis the following week at a neutral location. Tom Beard and myself will have the pregame at 6:50, but if you didn't catch what we were talking about yesterday during the preview show or pregame show on Facebook, we always run that prior to our radio airtime. So that's where you'll get a chance to hear from Coach Jeremy McKinney of Bloom Carroll and also Andy Hall of Jackson, and hear again about our athlete of the week. So that's somewhere around 6:15, 6:20 with the radio airtime, Litter Media Radio at 6:50. And you say, well, how do I pick that up? Well, see that QR code right there? Just put your smartphone right over top of that, and it'll take you to the link. Or you can go to our website at littermedia.com and find it there, or go to live365.com and type in Litter Media Radio. So you got a lot of ways that you can hear us.
I was about to say, what if they're watching this on their smartphone? How are they going to scan the QR code? But then you just answered the question.
I just answered
before I could even ask it.
Isn't that amazing? Maybe we're thinking alike. We are related, you know. Second cousin? Is that what you are?
Something like that.
Something like what? Unbeaten South Webster remained that way, beating Adena 3-1 in the Division III regional volleyball semis at Logan High School last night. The Jeeps will play Meadowbrook in the Saturday finals after the Colts took down Nelsonville York by the same 3-1 score. Now, there's a possibility that championship match time might be moved because South Webster is also playing at Logan at 1 o'clock in boys soccer regional finals, where the volleyball's at 2. So as they've done in the past, one or the other of those events will probably get a time change so that fans from South Webster can get to both events, both at Logan. Also last night, Division IV Waterford out of the Southeast District, they were swept by Shekinah Christian, while in Division II, Marietta swept River Valley to advance to the volleyball regional finals. Also tomorrow, regional championship, as we mentioned in soccer. We gave you the layout there for the teams playing. And the OHSAA cross-country state championships are being held tomorrow. There's several area athletes from Adena, Unioto, White Oak has an outstanding runner that's participating. We will have the results from Mile Split in a website story at littermedia.com sometime by late afternoon, when all of those results from the state cross-country championships are completed. Of course, our littermedia.com score page, that will have the soccer and the volleyball finals on there, where we'll have an individual story for the cross-country championships. Buckeyes in action tomorrow against Rutgers. They're playing at noon. Of course, as you heard us talking earlier this week, the Buckeyes are number 1 in the first college football playoff rankings. Do you have any dogs in that fight?
I'm not a college football person. I'm more of an NFL guy. I really don't care.
Now, your mama, she loves, is it Mississippi?
State.
Yeah, and
she hates Ole Miss.
But the Rebels are Ole Miss.
Right.
Mississippi State is the Bulldogs. Now, what about Dad?
He likes Notre Dame. He hates Ohio State.
I knew that. I just wasn't sure where his allegiance was, but Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yep.
Okay.
He texted me, we're first cousins once removed.
First cousins once removed. Okay. And I had nothing to do with his hiring. That was all Dan Ramey.
My interview was with Dan.
That's right. I had no influence whatsoever. Yeah. So that's a look at sports. Don't forget the Browns and Bengals on Sunday. The guys will be here Monday to tell you how that all turned out after the weekend. When we come back, this date in history takes us back to 2014, and a special salutation from Mike Smith to a special someone in his life. All that's coming up.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
As we always do, we wrap up with this date in history, and we take you back to the year 2014. One World Trade Center officially opens in Manhattan. The new tower, along with the rest of the World Trade Center complex, replaced the Twin Towers and surrounding complex, which were destroyed by terrorist attacks on September 11th of 2001. The initial plans for the site were steeped in post-9/11 patriotic sentiment. In fact, it was supposed to be called the Freedom Tower. But even before the skyscraper was finished, they were referring to it as One World Trade Center. It's got it's kind of evoking the Statue of Liberty in its design, stood at the same height as the original World Trade Center, which topped with a spire, rises 1,776 feet.
That's pretty tall. That's not the tallest building in the world, though.
No. But what's the significance of 1,776 feet?
That's the year that the Declaration of Independence was
boy,
signed.
this guy paid attention in his history class. So that happened on this date in 2014. I think when I was there in 2010, they were up to the 60th floor in reconstruction, and it's well over 100 stories altogether.
I've never been there before.
Never been to New York at all?
Nope. Never in my life.
You got to go once.
I want to once.
I've always wanted to go. I always wanted to go as a kid, and I finally got to go on a missions trip, and of course that was a experience and a blessing in itself. But we did get a chance to do some sightseeing as well. Also, happy anniversary to my lovely bride Laura. We were married on this date in 1979. So what am I doing on my anniversary? I'm doing a high school football game tonight.
But you'll be warm in the press box.
Now, wait a minute. What are we talking about?
No, I mean, like...
Not like Tom's warming up to me or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure what we were clear on there, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but Laura and I dated ever since we were in 8th grade, got married a year out of high school, but that was on this date in 1979. Either we were at a volleyball match somewhere. I think half of the 44 years we've actually got to spend together. So, honey, I love you, but you know where I am tonight. Just listen to the radio, and it'll verify where I am. So that's what wraps things up for us on this date. For our Litter Media Live program. Don't forget to join us for Litter Media Radio tonight. Aaron Glandon and Dan Ramey will be down on the field compiling all of the highlights for the weekend extras, and then the Game of the Week highlight package will be out when?
Monday or Tuesday.
You got it out on Monday.
I did. I worked on it over the weekend this time.
I was going to say, because Dan usually gets it out Wednesday or Thursday,
right?
And we're ready to do another game.
Right.
So this guy has been a, let's say, an ace in the hole. Yeah, we appreciate your efforts, Aaron. But that's where we'll be. Litter Media Radio Game of the Week tonight with Jackson hosting Bloom Carroll. So, Aaron, I'll let you say goodbye.
We'll see you on the radio.
Oh, he stole my line. See you out there tonight, folks. Have a great weekend.